everyone, my name is Abby and this is, I guess, my first YouTube video. I am making a video because I released my first book and this is honestly so exciting. I thought it would be fun if I answered some questions that people had on my Instagram. So I had people DM me questions that they had about LDRs or generic questions, and I am here to answer them as a promotion to my book. Okay, so a little bit background about myself. I was in a long distance relationship for almost 4 years, from 2015 to 2019. I want to give people the courage to try and make things work, because at the end of the day, love is a choice. Okay, let's get into the questions. So, first question, biggest struggles you faced in an LDR and how you resolved and handled it. So our LDR wasn't too bad because we were only a state away and the time zone was different. I think it's so much harder when your time zones are completely off, and that is something that I've never gone through. The hardest part about LDRs, I think, is when you're going through something, whether it's happy or sad, something great like a birthday party or something sad. Not having that person there physically is so hard, and just missing their comfort and just emotional reliance on them is so hard. The best way to resolve it is to surround yourself with people who love you and who will comfort you and support you. And it might not be in the same way, but honestly, surround yourself with really great friends, surround yourself with family, people who are gonna be there for you and who can help you with whatever you're going through. Next question. How to know /set / keep boundaries. I think relationships in general, you need to set boundaries. You need to set things that you're comfortable and uncomfortable with. Like, how many times do you want to call today? Or like, if you can text all the time or if you can't. And I think that really has to do with what your schedules are and also what you're comfortable with. Some people don't need to call every single day, and that's okay. I think it depends on how you want to communicate and how you want to kind of keep in touch. So for me personally, I liked texting throughout the day, like when I had school or when I had work, but I also really liked calling once a day, at least once a day. And even if it doesn't have to be a full conversation, doesn't have to be like 1 hour or 2 hours, it could just be like, hey, how was your day? What did you do today? What did you eat? Okay, I hope you have a good day tomorrow, and then good night, I love you. If you don't want to text your partner every minute of the day, but they want you, you need to set boundaries. You need to be like, hey, this is what I need, this is what I want, and I'm super busy, and you need to just deal with that. I think it's important because you are in an LDR for a reason, right? Whether it's school or your career or whatever. So you're away for some sort of reason, and if that reason wasn't important enough, you wouldn't have separated from your significant other. So I think to keep that goal in mind, to keep that reason important to you, those are your priorities and first, and then your relationship in a sense, because if your relationship was really your first priority, then you wouldn't be in an LDR in the first place. So I think your partner needs to always keep in mind of your life and your priorities, and you both need to understand what matters more to you and what works and doesn't work. What is the best thing about being an LDR, or any positive things about being an LDR? There is so many positive things about being an LDR. So
因為嗰時 keep 嗰啲係全部我選嗰啲，你拍曬上嗰線嚟。
係啊。Okay, where was I? So, for you to have a really good and successful long-distance relationship, it's pretty hard to start your relationship as an LDR, because when you're starting a relationship, you want to get to know the person, and it's really hard when you're away. So I think the most successful LDRs are the ones where you were together and then something came along, you were with this person, you're with them all the time, you know who they are, hopefully you know them well enough, and just having that space and having your own life while still being in love, still being in a relationship is so great, because you can do everything and you want to do and focus on yourself. You can wake up and still get good morning texts, still know that someone's thinking about you, and still know that you can fall back to someone at the end of the day and have someone to talk to, have someone to share like all the little things with through like text and phone calls, and just still have this person while still living your own life. And it's like you can do whatever you want. You can spend more time with your friends and build stronger relationship with your friends. You can, I don't know, you can just hang out with yourself. You can learn so much about yourself, learn to be also alone, learn to be independent, and just do things that you want to do, but still have that person at the end of the day. And honestly, that is the best part about being in an LDR. You also build more of an appreciation for this person. Like when you see them every day, it's a little bit different than when you go like months without seeing them. And then when you see them again, it's like when you see them again, it's like butterflies, and you just feel so happy because you feel like you've been waiting for this moment, and you feel so grateful that this person's yours and you're like reunited. And there's just so much more love to give when you're not with someone all the time. Okay, so I was pretty sure that someone was gonna ask this, but it's, are you still in your LDR? If not, what was that made you finally stop? So I am not in my LDR anymore. My LDR ended because of relationship like issues. I think people have to keep in mind that when relationships fail or LDRs fail because of relationship problems, it doesn't mean that it was an unsuccessful LDR, because if you take away the distance part, it's just a relationship, right? If someone said, like, if something bad happens in your relationship and it ends, like, shit happens, not everything is always meant to work out. It doesn't mean that it was a bad relationship, or it does mean that it's unsuccessful. But in LDR, like, things could have been so great when you guys were together, and say, like, you got back together and your LDR ended, and then, you know, you broke up for whatever reason. Doesn't mean your LDR wasn't unsuccessful, because it wasn't the distance that caused you to break up. But yes, I am not in an LDR anymore. Would you ever be in an LDR again? So I was in an LDR for 4 years, and that's a really long time. I don't think I'll do it anytime soon, but I think I'm not going to say I'm never going to do it again. I think if I find the right person, and if I think this person is worth being in an LDR for, I'll definitely give it a shot again, because if you want something to work, you'll make it work. So these two questions are kind of similar, and it's like, how do you satisfy your like physical sexual needs when LDR, or how do you not miss the D when the D is so far away? I mean, y'all, everybody wants the D, right? Like, who doesn't want the D? If you love this person, you want things to work, seeking and fulfilling your sexual needs with other people is definitely not the way to go. If this person is worth it to you, and if this person is someone that you want to be with and you want things to work, you're gonna make it work. So the only thing you can do is love yourself in all the ways you can. And there's also, like, I don't know if everyone does this, but you can also like do things over FaceTime, Skype, I don't know, go wild, do whatever you want, but you know what, you always got yourself, so you can fulfill yourself. The most important tip for healthy LDRs. So, the two things that are so important in LDRs is trust and communication. Without trust, your LDR is going to completely 100% fail. Just like in a regular relationship, if you don't trust the person, it's not going to work out, because it's like, you don't want to put yourself in a situation where all you think about all day is like, what is he doing? Who's he with? Who's that girl in his pictures or in his stories? Like, you don't want to do that, and like, you don't want to put yourself through that and make yourself feel so like, oh, he's cheating on me all the time, because at the end, girl, whether you're in an LDR or you're not, it's not gonna work. Communication is the key thing in an LDR. If you don't communicate what you want, what you don't want, how their day is going, communicating in general, like just talking to them, and just that's your main fuel for an LDR. So it's like, you need to prioritize and make time for this person to call or to text and to do all these things, because that's what you have to do in an LDR. And if that's something that you can't do or you can't put in, then ask yourself, do you really want to be with this person? Do you really want to make things work? And if you don't, then maybe don't be in an LDR, because sometimes LDRs are not for everyone. This question leads into the last one about communication, and she asked, my man doesn't like texting, calling, or FaceTiming. What the hell am I supposed to do? Girl, you gotta find yourself a new man. If you want to make things work, you need to like instill that communication is key. Like, what are you supposed, like, texting, calling, and FaceTiming are the main things of communication. And it's like, well, if you're not doing that, then how do you even talk to each other? Or how do you maintain your relationship? So, yeah, you gotta be like, if you want this, you're gonna call me. You're gonna text me and you're gonna FaceTime me. Because if you don't, then deuces. Last question is advice for when one partner is working but the other still might be in school. I think LDRs do get difficult when you guys are in different places of your life. Like, being in school and being a working adult is like two major paths that everyone eventually goes through, but it is a huge change. And I think the key thing is just to be supportive of each other no matter where you are. If they're still in school, just know that being in school is a lot busier than you are when you're working. Like, when you're in school, you have grades, you have projects, you have homework, you have like classes to actually attend, and there's so many things you're worrying about 24 hours of the day. Versus when you're working, you are working longer. Like, you're at work for 9 hours a day, and then, you know, you're worrying about certain other things, but honestly, your schedule is not as compact as when you are in school, so you get to go home and then you get to relax. Like, you don't have to think about what homework you have. So I think for the working person, keeping in mind that your significant other is in school and they are working hard, and that sometimes they might not have time for you, and just being supportive, just being there and being like, hey, I know you had a long day, like, here's boba, or here's a meal, like, because I know you might be hungry and stuff like that. For the person who's in school and their significant other's working, know that they had a long day too. Like, they went to work 8 hours a day, they're tired. Sometimes they don't want to hang out with you because as adults, you know, you have a long day and you kind of just don't want to do something sometimes. So just keeping in mind of that, just being aware of where your partner is in life and just knowing what they go through and just knowing who they are. Like, if they're really energetic and they, like, love to go out and, you know, they're down to go out with you all the time, that's great. But if your partner is, like, you know, wants to be alone sometimes, like, stay home, then, like, let them do that. Don't ever force your significant other to do something that they don't want to do just because you want it all the time. I think relationships are all about compromise. It's give and take. You know, there's always some things that you don't really like doing, but your significant other really likes, and if you love them, you'll do that for them once in a while. Like, obviously, if they ask you to do it all the time and they know that you don't like it, then that's a problem. But once in a while, like, do something for them that, you know, you normally wouldn't do, and, you know, vice versa. Like, it's really give and take. I think that is all the questions that I have. This is super fun. I love answering questions, and I just want to be a resource and help everyone that I can. If you haven't got a book already, please go support me. I worked really hard on this, and I did everything. I designed the book, I did the cover, I did the inside, I read through each story, I gave each story a title, I hand lettered all of the names, and I'm just so proud of this thing. And yeah, I'm really happy that it's out and you guys get to read it, and I get to help people and just make a difference in this world. So sorry if this video was all over the place. I hope I got to help you guys and got to answer some questions. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully maybe I'll make another video. Who knows? Let me know. Okay, bye. Go buy my book.